everybody, Fantasticairy here, back with another video. In this week's video, I'm going to be painting a grassy scully patch. You'll know what I mean by the end of this video, so please stay tuned for the end result. I really love painting skulls and the skeleton. It takes me back to anatomy classes, which I enjoyed back in the day. And also I thought it suited the closer to Halloween spooky vibes. People tend to see skeletons as scary or maybe a little depressing as it used to be an alive person. But as an artist, I really respect the skeleton and the skull. Understanding how things are constructed underneath really helps you bring out sometimes the best of your paintings, which this also applies to nature as well. Anywho, enough with my babbling, I'm going to get on with the process of this video. I've already shaped in the main skull shape that I want to paint. I of course was using reference, it's always helpful to have reference on hand. I block in my lighter value colors, and then now I'm taking a darker value color and kind of using the wet on wet technique with a mix of dry brush technique to create the overall shapes I want inside of the skull. I find this is a lot like molding something together and sketching with a paintbrush, trusting the process because in the end it'll all come together naturally. I'm not going to have a floating skull, so I'm going to paint it based in some grass, hence the grassy patch. Not being shy with the water for this because I want to blend in a couple more colors. As you can see, I've added some purples, reds, some darker greens, and now I'm taking my 01 liner brush and I'm using that paint to my advantage, sketching in some wispy lines of grass just around the skeleton to make it look a little bit more natural sitting in nature. Now that I got the base colors for my grass, I'm going to start painting in some darker values on the skull. I'm going to start going into the more detailed portion of this painting. You can kind of see the skull face with all the lighter values, but now we're going to add some more contrast to define those details a little bit more. This part is always a lot of fun and experimentation with the wet on wet technique to see certain textures that you can get. I'm going for believable and stylistic and not so much realism. For the majority of this painting, I used my 02 round brush. I like this brush, it holds enough water and paint perfectly for these small illustrations. As you can see, the browns have dried with a darker blackish colors and values. And I'm not going to be shy, and I'm going to add in some even blacker value. I usually keep things pretty light, so I was a little nervous adding straight black in. I rarely just use black. Now and then I'll add it to certain colors to make them more earthy and darker, but with the skull I wanted to really define the main details so that things were a little bit clearer. I think the textures of the skull were my favorite part, and kind of dotting in the certain different characteristics of the surface of a skull. As I wait for that to dry, I'm going to go back to the grassy patch and add in some little branches of leaves. I thought this would be an interesting detail and give the painting a little bit more characteristics, as well as a composition. Kind of using this reddish color, painting in some more fall colored leaves. Using the wet on wet technique, I'm going to blend in some darker reds, not being scared to go saturated on this, letting things blend naturally. Then I'm going to take some yellow, and I just want to see what this looks like, using these colors to see how they would dry. I even added in some purple and greens to make it a little bit more interesting. Again, not being shy with saturation, it's all about experimentation. I added a little bit of a darker value to my purple. I thought this made the leaves look a little bit more balanced with the black of the skull. Now that they are dry, as you can see, I have this really unique looking texture, very colorful, and I think that works perfect with the skull. Using my 01 liner brush to detail in those vines and the leaves, just a generic kind of look, which I'm okay with, using a darker purplish red color. I'm gonna let you guys enjoy the final reveal with some music, and I'll see you at the end for the end result. I love how the colors and textures kind of mesh well together. The greens turned out really nice against the purples and the reds of the leaves that I chose to color, and I think I had just enough contrast for the skull. As for the textures, I'm pretty satisfied with how they turned out. I'm excited to fill this whole page with more scully, grassy patches to share with you guys next week. And I also have a surprise for you. I painted on my free time a full illustration that I'll be sharing with you next week. And next week is Halloween, so it'll be well suited for the season. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you for all the comments down below. They make me so happy. You can find me on the social medias and the links in the descriptions below, as well as my imprint shop where you can purchase prints and stickers of the artwork I've done thus far. Videos are every Friday, so I'll see you guys next Friday on Halloween. I hope you guys are having a fun, enjoyable, spooky season, autumn season, and I'll see you guys next week. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.